Hello YouTubers out there, this here is Rob aka Toronto Collector, coming to you as always from the beautiful city of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Ordinarily I post nice videos here of Funko Pops that I have added to my collection. However, because of the current situation we are in, of course, I am unable to get to the store and get any Pops, and to give my Canada Post letter carriers a break, I am not ordering anything online right now because they are already complaining about not having much PPE to protect themselves. So, instead of this video being Funko Pop related, I thought I would share with you some of my other figures as well that I have not yet shown on my channel, I don't believe. They are figures I've collected over the years of my favorite hockey team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are made by McFarlane Toys and by Import Dragons. So if you're not a fan of hockey, you may find this video quite boring. Hopefully you're not, and you stay with me through the end of the video there, but I will show you my Maple Leaf. I have a wall made up of Toronto Maple Leaf figures, both past and current. And I will show you that in the video, and hopefully it won't be too long to show you some of the other videos I've collected over the years. Marie and I are both fine here. We are staying at home. We are staying inside. I am not going to work right now, as the government is asking us not to go to work, to stay home and only go out when needed. So that's what I'm doing. So next image you'll see here is the start of my Maple Leaf wall. Hopefully you enjoy it. Well, hello there YouTubers, this is Rob aka Toronto Collector back with you here again. This is an overall view of my Toronto Maple Leaf wall. I've been collecting Toronto Maple Leaf figures now for many years. I stopped a while back, and thanks to a Christmas gift given to me by my girlfriend a couple years ago, I rekindled into the love of it again. So this is an overall view of it here, and I will go in for a close-up of the players. This here is Tim Horton, who is a defenseman for the Leafs, and yes, he has a hand in the Tim Horton copy chain that we have today. He's one of the founding owners of it. Some of these figures I have two of, like I have two of his. Next is Frank Mahovlich, one of the original Leafs to wear the number 27. And on some of them you'll see that there is a white return address label here with a year on it. That is the year that they played for the Leafs. A newer number 27 for the Leafs, and my personal favorite Leaf of all time right now is number 27, Daryl Sittler, and I'm trying to maneuver the camera so to cut down the glare. Number 27, Daryl Sittler, right there, and both home and away. Lanny McDonald right there, known as Mr. Mustache for his trademark mustache. Then we have another captain, Wendell Clark. This here is a line called a Hat Trick line. There's a bunch of hats in the box there with them. And over here is another captain of the Leafs, and one of Maria's favorites, Doug Gilmour. I will try to keep the glare down best I can to minimum there for you. Okay, that's the top line. The second line down has a space right there because I'm still trying to get Matt Sundin here in white. There's one of him wearing a white jersey. I'm still trying to get him in white there, but that's Matt Sundin there. Number 13, another beloved captain for the Leafs, in blue, or what I call away colors, but nowadays the blue is considered home colors. I don't get that. But anyways, moving on. Here is the Leafs, one of the Leafs enforcers, Ty Domi, in both white and blue. Another Leaf enforcer, Darcy Tucker, in both Thomas Carberley. Thomas Carberley, a great defenseman for the Leafs, in white only. Next to him is Leafs enforcer Darcy Tucker, in both blue and white. Next to him is another great defenseman for the Leafs, Bryan McCabe, in both white, which I consider that to be the home colors, and him in blue with a mohawk. That became quite a collectible years ago. And above from there are a couple of beer cans from the Molson Brewing Company here, Molson Canadian Brewing Company here, which that's the beer I drink. And over here are a couple plaques that a friend of mine no longer wanted there. So this shows the history of the Leafs and how their symbols looked, starting back in 1926, right through on this plaque here to 1971 and 1981, right there. And this plaque here shows newer, the newer jerseys, right there from, well, actually from 58 right through until present day. And right down here is just a briefer look at their jerseys back when they used to be called the St. Pat's. That's just one of the other plaques on my wall there. Okay, you've seen some of the players, and here's some of the goalies here. So I have with #1 goalie, #1 on your playlist, and #1 in the fans' hearts, Johnny Bower. And this particular one here, I don't know if you can make it out too well, but this particular one here is actually signed by JB himself during a signing. I'm not quite sure even what the signature is, but it's pretty faded right there. Anyways, that's Johnny Bower in white and in blue. Terry Sawchuk in white and blue. Bernie Parent, for his brief stint with Toronto there, mostly known for playing for Philadelphia, in Leafs blue. Grant Farrell, who had a signature helmet there of GF on his helmet when he played goal for the Leafs. Then we have Curtis Joseph. I remember the season in which Curtis Joseph played for St. Louis, and fans were chanting Joe Sev, hoping he would let goals in. And the next season he gets traded to Toronto, so then he becomes a fan favorite. This here is a white, and this here is a blue version of him here, which is a little more expensive. This water ball right there, there's another version of this figure, but the water ball right here, his water ball, actually having the Leaf crest on it there. But that figure is harder to get. So that's almost like the chase version of this figure. And here's a goalie I used to love to watch, Ed Belfour. I have 3 of him. One right there. Same pose, but blue. And then another pose. Some of these figures are made by a company called Import Dragons. Like this one here is Import Dragons, whereas Terry Sawchuk up here is by McFarlane Toys. So depends on the figure is newer or older as to who made it. Next one here is Vesa Toskala here, a very well-known goalie for the Leafs, played for the Leafs. And then next to him is Jonas Gustafsson in both blue and white. Next to him is Sebastian Giguère. I have a slight problem speaking French, saying French names there, but that's Giguère. Next to Giguère is a much beloved goalie here, and actually Maria's favorite, James Reimer. And we were sad when he got traded there, but he became a backup to another goalie that Toronto acquired from LA, Jonathan Bernier, who actually is right there. And that right now is the extent of my Leaf goalies right now. I have yet to acquire the latest goalie there, which is Frederik Andersen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm on my knees recording these last 2 rows of Maple Leaf shirts, so if the camera work is a little bit off, I apologize in advance. So who is on screen right now is Gary Roberts. Back then he was an assistant captain. Alexander McGillney in blue and white. Brian Leetch. Sometimes these players didn't play for the Leafs too long there, but played for them long enough to make a figure out of them. And next to Brian Leetch is Jason Blake, the much beloved defenseman for the Leafs, with them there for many, many years. Luke Schenn, two of him. Just had to change position there a little bit. Next to Luke Schenn is Phil Kessel, who came in to score goals for the Leafs many years ago. Actually, I have two of him in there, but this space right here is a molding that space there for this exact figure, but in white. That's what's going to go right there. I do have another Phil Kessel figure right here, but it's from a slightly different line. But this is a bronze figure, which is more valuable. And now the last row of my Toronto Maple Leaf figures here. This is Joffrey Lupul, who was number 19 for the Leafs. He had many health problems and so forth there, and he was finally put on the permanent disabled list. And the number 19 has since gone to Jason Spezza within the last year. So I think Joffrey Lupul finally did retire. Next to him is another space there for another beloved Leaf captain, who I want to acquire in blue, Dion Phaneuf, coming in from Calgary. That one there will go in that space right there. Now the Leaf figures, I said at the beginning of the video that my girlfriend gave me two Leaf figures that we inspired my love of collecting the figures here. Well, here they are. The one figure she gave me there was JVR, and this is a real collectible, ladies and gentlemen, there, because this figure here of JVR was when he was wearing the number 21. Well, 21 was almost a retired number from made famous by Borje Salming, a defenseman for the Leafs years and years ago. And when this figure came out there, JVR was wearing 21. Then he changed it to number 25. So this figure now is a real collectible of him in 21. But not hard to get there. They haven't changed. They didn't change his number. They didn't make another figure when his number changed to 25. They didn't change his number. So if you get a JVR figure now, it'll always be 21. I have not yet seen, and since then JVR's been traded. So I wasn't too happy to hear he got traded. I really enjoy watching him, and he's a big guy. So they didn't get a chance to change his number on the figure to 25 and reissue it. So anyways, next to JVR here is another great defenseman for the Leafs, Morgan Rielly, number 44. I have him twice, both blue and white. And here are my collection right now finishes off with two players here that the Leafs are newly acquired by the Leafs here that are proven to be a very viable asset there. There's William Nylander for the Leafs, number 29, and Auston Matthews. I'm sure any hockey fans there have heard of him. Auston Matthews for the Leafs. I have three of him. 1, 2, when he played the Centennial game for the Leafs, and him in white. So there are actually three of him. The Centennial jersey there is quite there. It's celebrating the Leafs' 100th birthday. So there you go, YouTubers. That is my Leaf wall. It started off being 5 figures, which I had just over here. Actually, where Lupul is right down there. That's where it started. It started up. It just had 5 figures on the wall there. And then my girlfriend got me those other 2 figures, which I've already showed you, of JVR and Rielly. And that's how I started to really love the team again. So I found a seller in Edmonton. Keep in mind, I'm in Toronto, Ontario. I found a seller in Edmonton, Alberta, that sells hockey figures like this, and he had a bunch of Toronto Maple Leaf figures. Well, you can imagine him being in Edmonton, Alberta, having a bunch of Toronto Maple Leaf figures. They weren't selling that well from his booth, in the flea market in Edmonton. So he got in contact with me there when I put out a blank call on Kijiji in Canada looking for leaf figures. He said, "Oh, I got a bunch here for sale here. I can sell it to you for just about my cost." And these figures here average about $20 each. So if you compare $20 for each of these figures, compare that to the cost of a Funko, that would be the equivalent of 4 common Funkos. Most of these figures were about 20 bucks, except for this figure over here, which was of Curtis Joseph here. That figure actually ran me about 60 because apparently Curtis Joseph owns the rights to this figure there, so his figure is more valuable there. As you can see, this figure here is made by McFarlane Toys. So that is a figure that's a little more expensive to get. But most of the older figures are made by McFarlane, and most of the younger ones, like the ones down there, at the end of the line, the ones down there, are made by Import Dragons. They apparently have the license to do all kinds of athletes. So anyways, this video is going 14.5 minutes long. So that is my Toronto Maple Leaf wall, and I'll probably be posting this video directly to YouTube later for your entertainment. So anyways, to wrap it up, YouTubers out there, this is Rob, aka Toronto Collector, coming to you from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed watching this other side of my collector side there of my beloved Toronto Maple Leafs. I do have other figures in my collection. I have Sons of Anarchy figures, I have Twilight figures, and I have Spice Girl figures in different collections there. So if you would like to see more of those figures, not Funko related, but more of those figures there, I'll be posting them very soon there. So the update here, ladies and gentlemen, here on YouTube about Marie and I is we are okay, we're healthy, we are in being told to, everybody here in Toronto was told to stay home to help eliminate the spread of this current condition. So we are doing just that. I'm only going out to do food shopping for us and to get medication because Marie right now is suffering from a bit of a head cold there. I hope that she can recover quicker because she doesn't like being sick there. She has been in contact with her doctor on the phone, and her doctor has diagnosed her on the phone there and prescribed her some medication, which I went and picked up for her. So hopefully she will be much better very soon. Medication is helping her. Neither of us have had any of the 3 symptoms of 19, which is fever, excessive continuous coughing, and above all else, trouble breathing. None of us have had any of those symptoms right there. So we're both fine. I am a little more fine than she is, but that's fine and dandy here. So I'm just waiting on word to return to work and just enjoying my downtime right now. And what I would like to see on YouTube here, ladies and gentlemen, here is with all of us here who have channels, let's all maybe make some other kind of videos of other figures that you may collect. If you collect other things other than Funko or other than Dorbs, if you collect McFarlane, if you collect any other line of toys, and you have signed toys or anything like that, let's see other videos on your channel there, unless your channel is specifically designed for Funko related products. If not, maybe let's see some more fun videos of you there to help us buy the time while we're all being home and during this downtime. I really do believe that we will be all over this very soon. All we have to do is have faith in our governments and have faith in our healthcare workers. And if you're like me and want to thank all the healthcare workers out there for working 24/7 to take care of those sick and to look for a cure, and also for those people who are still working, like people working in the grocery stores, our public transit workers, our regular service workers like who deliver the mail to us, pick up our garbage. Let's give them a big thumbs up and thank them for doing their job. So this is Rob, aka Toronto Collector. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video here, please down below and to my left there, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, letting you know when I post more videos there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, give me a thumbs down. Please be sure to comment down below what you think of this video here. And if I've talked too much or whatever, if you like my wall, whatever, please do let me know. Let's all take care of each other. We will all survive this, no problem, and we'll become stronger for it. So it's Rob, aka Tron Collector, saying thank you very much for watching. Take care.